Is, if you guys want to start talking football, go right ahead.
Okay. I mean,
all right.
To you, ladies first.
Well,
I have issues.
Okay, right. Well, let's start with we're all devastated, gutted. We learn our lessons the hard way on this one. One game in, what club is that related to and which manager?
Oh, I don't know, Hannah. You're gonna have to help me out. What do you mean? So wait, what? A manager's got to learn how?
Is this quotes?
Yeah, we're all devastated, gutted. We learn our lessons the hard way on this one.
Reading.
No, honestly, it could have been 4 or 5 different clubs yesterday. The level of histrionics, like I feel like the first game of the season is a bit of a gamble. You don't know. No one's got tapes, right? Pre-season friendlies don't mean anything. You don't know who's going to turn up, what shape they're going to play, what their tactics are going to be. So that was I'm going to call him Peter C because I stand no chance of pronouncing his surname. I will learn though because I'm ignorant. Yeah. But there were the other. It was generally that those comments came out of games where they were playing either up. So it was MK Dons, I think, was the other one. My battery's about to die on my laptop, even though it's plugged in. Weird.
Is it switched on at the wall, Hannah?
No, I have to turn it off and turn it back on sometimes. I think my adapter's a bit wonky. Anyway, it's working now. Yeah, I think, and that's why we've seen so many anomalies in those games where you've got promoted and relegated teams playing each other. Obviously, Salford lost on Saturday. Salford have done ridiculous business in this transfer.
I got told they won the league in July. I can't believe they've lost.
I mean, honestly, like we were talking about like our dirty football secrets. My dirty football secret is that on Monday or Tuesday this week, I was looking at buying a Salford season ticket because I realised that there were 13 games when they're at home and we're away. And I decided I was going to sack off away games and I was going to go and watch Salford piss the league.
I think they still will.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I mean, the season we won League Two, we didn't start playing until October. It makes
I always come back to that.
To be honest.
No, but I always come back to that because we sacked Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
Right. We sacked Mark Hughes. We sat above Stockport. I think you were 16th. Yeah. We were 15th.
Yeah.
We sacked Mark Hughes. You kept Dave Chat. And I always maintain, look, do not get me wrong. I love Graham Alexander and I wanted Graham Alexander before Mark Hughes. You can check my tweets. It's there. I think I was one of the only Bradford fans that was excited when he came in. Graham Alexander, superb manager. If Mark Hughes had stayed that season, I still believe we would have gone up. And it shows you stick with a manager, you get what you want. You stuck with him, you went up. And yeah, as soon as you guys turned it on, you could see it coming. So I just want to go back for a second to transfers. I know we haven't even got on to the football properly yet, but the transfers that don't make sense. And this isn't one that necessarily doesn't make sense. The excuse doesn't make sense. Max Power to Wigan. Okay, so Max Power, Bradford's captain last season, signed last summer, had a great season for us. Distribution is absolutely shocking. We call him the crab because he loves to go sideways.
Sabutio footballer.
Yeah, he left Bradford in the summer to return home to Wigan. And the excuse that was given was they wanted to be closer to his family because he didn't realise how far Bradford was for commuting. From where he lives. He lives over near Wigan. Okay? Now, I'm just going to read something to you. Okay, which is fine. On its own is fine, right? bear in mind, his family have always lived around sort of Liverpool, Birkenhead area. So obviously he's got to travel to Wigan. He then has to travel past and go to Bradford. Okay. So Max Power left Bradford because the commute was too much. Just going to read something to you. So Max Power started his career Tranmere Rovers. Fine. Okay. On his doorstep. Not a problem. Makes sense. He then went to Wigan. No worries. Yep. He then went to Sunderland. Okay. Oh, you're laughing? Gets worse. He went back to Wigan. No issue with that. I can't pronounce the team name. He went to fucking Saudi Arabia, right? He then left Saudi Arabia. He went and played in fucking Denmark. Then he came to Bradford, and all of a sudden, Bradford's too much of a commute.
Has something changed though? Has he got like babies and family?
Yeah, I was going to say, has he got a young family now?
Not as far as I know. No. Do you know what has changed? He's realised that he can't get a corner past the first man on one of the smallest pitches in the league. So he's going to go home where he's universally loved. Can't really do much wrong because he's done it there before, and see out the back end of his career. And that's fine. And if he said that, if he admitted that he probably wasn't up to what we needed, and he wasn't, people said, he was a much better captain than Richie Smallwood. Probably was. But do you know what? We went from Richie Smallwood, who was very, very quiet, to Max Power, who used to scream and shout at players on the pitch if they made the slightest mistake. Now, for me, you can do that. You can berate your players as a captain, but you better make sure that your fucking shit don't stink. And his shit stunk. I so many misplaced passes, and every time he'd misplace a pass, he'd turn and he'd blame the other person, scream and shout at them. Never took accountability, and that for me is where I kind of went. No, I never got on board with it. Anyone who goes to the games with me, went to the games with me last season, I openly said I'm not a fan. I don't get it. He's not, for me, he isn't an improvement on what we had. I think he's a different player to what we had under Richie Smallwood, but he wasn't an improvement. That's my view on it. And
in the game yesterday, so Cambridge, who newly promoted Cambridge, beat Wigan 3-2. They were 3-0 up.
Yeah.
And then Wigan changed shape. Neil Harris said that he was happy because they'd scored off a set piece, they'd scored off a counter-attack. He said it was a really down-to-earth interview in terms of, he said that he knows that they don't have the best players, so they've got to be quick. So they scored very, very early on and to get ahead. But basically, Wigan then changed shape and Cambridge didn't adapt to it. And I thought that was really telling. Like, they know what they've got to do, even at this stage. And he said they don't do 90 minutes, the players, for him, then they've got to find another club. It's brutal.
I'm so glad you said this. Because obviously me and Liam were on yesterday and we briefly spoke about Cambridge. And I turned around to Liam and I said, you know what? We played them the back end of last season and they absolutely destroyed us. Mm-hmm. Like, we came away with a 1-1 draw and it was criminal that we came away with a draw from that game. And I said to Liam, the thing is, they do not have, almost word for word what you've just said there, I said to Liam, they do not have the best players. What they have is a footballing strategy and an ideal that they believe in, and they execute amazingly. Now, I went back and I watched their goals, and the one word that I wrote 2 words down here. I wrote Camu, physical and pace, because exactly what they did to us is exactly what they did to Wigan. They get the ball and they run very, very fast, and you cannot stop them.
No. They've got an identity.
Yeah.
This is what they and again, Fyfie, I said this about you guys yesterday at the end before we went off when who came on? John came on and sort of said, we accept, it's a draw is good. We probably just have to accept it. And I said no. I said, like, your club has gone backwards. You don't have an identity anymore. When Holloway first came in, you went on that run and you looked great and you've you stagnated, and now you're going back. I don't know how Swindon Town play. I don't know what a Swindon Town team looks like. Well, yeah, terribly. But I don't know if I was coming to play Swindon Town, I wouldn't know what to expect in the good or the bad. It'd be probably more bad. But the point is, I wouldn't know what. I know that they would play poorly, but what I mean is, I wouldn't know what to expect them to try and do. I don't know what your game plan is, and it doesn't look like you guys do. And that's why, Cambridge are so solid because they have that.
One of the guys I can see that's come over into the chat is the account that says Jay Wills. His name's James. Someone I've got to know quite well over the last year. He's a Swindon fan. He was stood with me at that Cambridge game, and we all kind of turned around to each other and said, "How have we done this?" So he will not be surprised to hear me say those words about Cambridge, about how they win the ball and they run. They are physical. They are fast. I think they're going to cause problems because the big word we've been using a lot when it came to the World Cup, when it came to the end of last season, when it's come to start this season, is momentum. Cambridge took that promotion spot. They weren't there the whole season. They took it. And I think they're going to cause a lot of teams problems in League One because I don't think, although people have this, stigma's the wrong word, but they have this kind of preconceived idea League 1 and 2 is all about the physicality and that. To a point, yes. You know, the nicer football obviously is Championship Premier League, but there is nice football in these divisions as well. But the difference is Cambridge master all of the physical elements. They're not just strong, they're not just fast. They are both.
Yeah.
And they will put crosses in all day long as well.
Well, what you've just said there is exactly what I said last season, Hannah, about us and how we did so well in League One last season. The way we came up from League Two, the way we had to do it, fight until the very last kick of the very last game of the season, was what carried us into that last season. And that's what progressed us. And that's why out of the 4 promoted sides from League Two that season, we were head and shoulders above the other 3. We were light years ahead of them, you know, because they were slowly building, and they slowly built, like Doncaster slowly built and became the champions of League Two. Fantastic. And then they slowly built in League One. We were here and we pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and boom, promoted, and then just kept going. We had that identity similar to what Cambridge had. And that's why
I can see he's actually put in the chat there as well that they were the best team he saw last season in League Two.
I think as well, it's that like Neil Harris, when he was at Gillingham, had a similar kind of approach sometimes. Sometimes they were just playing for a draw. They knew they were the weakest, and they were absolutely frustrating. And then they catch you on the counter, and suddenly you'd be 1-0 down, and that's how it'd end, because then they'd go back to like just everyone behind the ball. Right, we're gonna play, no one's scoring any more goals. And as a result, we struggled against Cambridge because that's kind of that's his style in terms of sometimes deploying that. It's why I was interested to see that they scored 3 goals against Wigan, because that's got to be fairly unusual. Not Wigan, but for Cambridge to score 3 goals in a game.
For a Neil Harris side to score 3 goals in a game. He doesn't. Honestly, he doesn't do that.
No. I know we're going back, but it's no exaggeration to say they could have had 8 or 9 against us that day. Back in, I want to say April.
Just what Jay Wills has said here, talking. This is, I'm guessing, in response to the thing I said about Swindon with the no identity. He said, in fairness, they had an identity all pre-season. It went out of the window yesterday for whatever reason. They had and then Cambridge were the best team in League Two. They had an identity in pre-season because there's no pressure. Win or lose doesn't matter in pre-season. Obviously, everyone wants to win every single game, but it doesn't matter. That's why you had an identity. What I'm going to do, guys, because we are an hour in and we've only touched.
And we've basically spoke about one team.
But that's why, like, we don't need to do all the games. We can do like
we don't need to analyze all the games. What I'm going to do, Hannah, I'm going to start with League One.
I have notes.
Fyfie's got notes. Okay.
I've got a new notebook. Look at it.
Hannah, is that claret and amber? That is very Bradford City.
Bradford.
That is Bradford City notebook, Hannah.
It's absolutely not. It's
that is claret and amber.
Do you know what? It's just a lighting. It's neon green and fluorescent pink. I'll send you a photo.
It is not.
It's not.
Do you remember that is the dress gold and white or whatever it was?
Hannah, that's claret and amber. Hannah, just give me a up the fucking chickens. Go on, just give us one.
It's 100% not. I'm going to find something that's.
I'm going to read. Right, so. You've got your notes. I'm going to just read League One's results from yesterday. I'm going to leave the Bradford game off. I'm going to leave the Stockport game off because obviously I have comments. Hannah's disgusted with a notebook right now.
I've got I've got one quote about the county. It was like a Premier League.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it yet, because we're gonna come to your game.
We'll do our teams
talk.
at the end.
We'll do our teams at the end. That's why I'm gonna leave them off. But any of these games that I read out, if you've got notes, stop me. Okay. So Barnsley 0, Bromley 1.
Yes, note. Just one.
Can we do them as the same order that they're in the league paper?
Yeah, what a result for Bromley.
My only note is what a fucking result for Bromley.
Yeah, do you know what my note is? Andy Woodman said afterwards, he's like, the advice that's been given to him is aim for clean sheets. And I thought, yes, that's brilliant. Like, for them in this league, if you can just eke out the clean sheets and the goalless draws, you'll be safe.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah. The thing is, I like teams that come up and it's new ground for them, and there's no frills about them. We are here to stay up. Not we are here to finish mid-table. We are here to, we can look on and go at the play. No, we want to stay in this league, and we are going to shut up shop and make it really hard for people. I love that. And I love Andy Woodman, as we all know. So, right, that's yours. Fyfie's was what a fucking result for Bromley, which, again, cannot argue. Okay, Blackpool 1, Wickham 1. I doubt anyone's got notes.
I will have notes. Yeah, they were Ian Evatt related notes.
Was it Dick's out for Ian Evatt?
My one note is Swindon fans would hate it if I didn't mention Blackpool's goal was scored by Finley Monroe. Ian Holloway will almost certainly mention it.
Anna,
what about yours? What was your Ian Evatt?
So the equaliser was in the 77th minute. So they were behind.
What number?
Molyneux.
But Ian Evatt said that he expected them to win. They were behind from the 7th minute to the 77th minute. There's just some very weird. This is not the first manager that has made a comment like that. There are others as we go through. And we're playing them next weekend. Not overly concerned, quite honestly.
Burton 1, Stevenage 1.
Got notes.
Fuck me, we're going to be here all night. Go on.
No notes on this one for me.
So my only one was, it was again a really late equaliser, as it was in the MK Dons game as well. Tilt collar Corey Adai at Burton, who is making friends, I feel, with the Burton fans. I think they love him already. Burton were winning until I think it was like the 80-something.
Yeah, later.
And it was a typical Corey Adai low down. That's how you score against him. Everyone knows he's 6'8". He does not get to the floor easily. Burton should have held on to that, unfortunately, for them.
Still, considering how last season went for them, that's a draw on opening day. It ain't a bad one.
Right. They signed Will Collar as well on Friday, which I thought was interesting from MK Dons.
It's a loan, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
I think it's a loan. I do think it's a loan, because I think I was shocked when I saw it, but I think it is a loan. I'm hoping neither of you have got notes on this one. Huddersfield 3, AFC Wimbledon 0.
No notes.
No, I don't actually. No notes. No notes. As expected. No notes.
Chef Wednesday 2.
Got one sent off though. There were lots of sending offs.
Loads of sending off. We're going to come to one game.
We're not get to call it yet.
Yeah. I know we've touched on it with Louis Barry, but Chef Wednesday 2, Leyton Orient 1.
Yes, I have notes.
Go on. I just from me, I don't think that's as bad a result for Leyton Orient as it looks. They were level for a period, but yeah. I think if you're going up against the favourites in the league, they haven't been battered. They haven't been played off the park, especially with like Leyton Orient last season looked a little bit disjointed at times.
It was a penalty, wasn't it? The Sheffield Wednesday winner was penalty. Do you know what I found really interesting about it?
As well.
Yes, what I found really interesting about this game was, just about Leyton Orient generally, Richie Wellens signed off last season.
Oh,
with
yes, did he?
Epic commentary, shall we say, on his players, on their general attitudes.
Did you see it, Fyfie? Did you see it, Fyfie?
Which bit in particular? Sorry.
What Richie Wellens said after the last game of the season?
Oh, I've not. Oh, yeah. After the last game, yes, yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone watching who hasn't, he essentially said, "Why these players are celebrating with their families, blah 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 blah." At the end of the season, no, get off the pitch. You've wasted a year of your career, and you've wasted a year of mine. That is outstanding, by the way. I don't like managers throwing players under the bus during the season, but at the end of the season, go fucking wild. Tell everyone what went wrong. Yeah. So carry on. I love that. I love Richie.
So, but by contrast to that, yesterday, apart from giving away the penalty, which was avoidable, he took the blame for it and said that actually he thought it was a largely positive performance, which is kind of in line with what we've said. And you can imagine the fixture list coming out, can't you? And then that heart sink that you get, like Sheffield Wednesday at home on the opening game of the season. And he was, whether he's been told to kind of realign his feedback or whether he's just turning over a new leaf for the new season, very, very different feedback.
There's a comment for you here, Hannah. Just going back to Corey Adai. Being 6'8" is no excuse.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. It's absolutely no excuse, especially not for a goalkeeper. It's just how he is.
Yeah, but Mike's 6'5" and he hits the floor if he tries to stand up.
Yeah,
but right.
Wait, I still have notes.
Oh, go on. Sorry, Fyfie. I thought you'd said them.
No. Hannah went first this time.
No.
So I put people who watch anything that I stream will know I have a real issue with calamities. Like, they're funny to watch, but I expect professionals to have an element of professional pride. Wednesday's first goal was one of those where he's charged down the keeper, he's kicked it at him, and he's gone in the net. Always hilarious to watch. But come on, lads, you're a professional footballer. Beat the first man.
Mm-hmm.
The equaliser was something of a rarity. You don't see it very often. It's come from a drop ball. The referee did a drop ball. He's hooked it straight into the area, and then the guys headed it in and scored, which I found interesting. You don't often see it from a drop ball. And we spoke about it before you went live. Can we just take a moment to applaud Barry Bannon's miss? Because it was absolutely sensational. A defensive howler, he rounded the goalkeeper, empty net, and put it wide.
It was special. Like, that requires an element of skill.
Absolutely.
It's bad. Thing is, it wasn't even just, he didn't hit the post. He's gone straight into the back of the side netting. It's yeah, God knows.
Prodigal son returns and all that.
Yeah. I don't get me wrong, I like Barry Bannon. I just wish he'd get his hair sorted. Mansfield, Doncaster. You mentioned about, the Grant McCann's interview about the money spent.
Yeah. Also, in a theme similar to Ian Everts, although don't want to ever see that either. He said, this is Grant McCann. So it was a bad miss. If we'd have scored that, we'd have comfortably won. Well, no, if you'd have scored it, you would have gone ahead at that point in the game. I just find it a really weird. Yeah. You lost 2-1.
There's a real confidence in these managers in what they say, isn't there?
It's like the epitome of, like, what's the whole meme about? I know I'm going to cause offense now, and I make some apologies for it, but that kind of mediocre white male privilege, like. Do you
know what it reeks of? Have you ever seen the meme of
feminism? It reeks of feminism, Fyfie.
No, it reeks of the meme of the Liverpool fan. It reeks of that meme of the Liverpool fan. It's like, what are you laughing for? I don't deal in like whatever.
I do absolutes. I do absolutes. I don't do puts or maybes. I do absolutes.
Yeah. But so we played Donny last weekend, and I thought they were decent. Alfie May was Alfie May. I think he will be the one that if you he'll end up being like man marked within an inch of his little legs, and that'll be the way to control him. Simpkins, the goalkeeper, was brilliant against us. Not so good on Saturday. But it's early, right? Like,
yeah, obviously.
But yeah, Grant McCann. If they'd have scored, they'd have won. Apparently,
But comfortably as well.
Comfortably, yeah.
Jesus, is this the Walk Football Podcast?
Yes.
Oh, yes, apparently
this is what happens when you let women in football, James.
Yes, it is. It is. Right, we've touched on it already. Notts County and Leicester. All I want to say is, as I kind of said at the beginning, you can't play pep ball in League One and League Two. And I said it yesterday on Fools. It's teams at this level. The one thing that you can control, you're not. Teams know, like, Notts County know they're not going to be the best footballing side in the league. They're not going to be, and they can't control that because you're coming up against teams that have massive budgets and are going to spend a lot of money. One thing that you can control is your fitness. You can control how long you can go at it for, and there is no skill involved in press. Obviously there is, but what I mean by that is pressing is simply when they've got the ball, go forward, run at them and put pressure on them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to do it in a shape, and I get that, but you don't need a level of footballing skill and ability to be able to do that, if that makes sense. So when a team comes, and like I said yesterday, Leicester will, if they continue to play this way, they will grind out results. They will come up against teams that will allow them to play that way, and they'll get results.
Be intimidated by them as well.
Absolutely.
And we've seen this before, like it's People's Cup final. When Sheffield Wednesday comes to town, when Leicester come to town, like we had it already. It was like, I can't go. I'm away for the Leicester game, and like, I'll have your ticket for that. It's special and it's different.
Yeah, and I think what you will find is you'll find teams like Notts County, Bromley. Bromley will be an example of that. Bromley will not be afraid of playing Leicester.
No,
because they've got nothing to lose. Yeah, because Notts County yesterday going into that game, coming up against Leicester, and it's the same as, Leyton Orient with Sheffield Wednesday. Everybody's writing you off before a ball is kicked. Yeah. You've got nothing to lose. Bromley will have no issue playing against Leicester. I'm not saying that they'll beat them, but they won't be afraid to press them. And when you press a team at this level to that extent, and you are willing to just go and go and go, and teams at this level are very, very good at press. Hannah, I'm sorry to drag this back up, but I actually used our game last season as an example when I was talking yesterday to Fyfie. No, but it's true. The first half of that game when we played at your place, when I sat with you guys, opening the buzzball, was you guys were all over us. You guys absolutely annihilated us in that first half.
It was beautiful football.
It was unbelievable.
Beautiful football.
It was the best football I'd seen all season. But the second half, we came out and pressed you.
Shit.
And what happened when we pressed? You fell to pieces.
Oh, 100%.
Because you didn't have that time on the ball that we'd allowed you to have in the first half. And when I say allowed, not necessarily allowed.
And we didn't take advantage of it in the first half.
No. So we pressed, and it worked. And you made mistakes, and you gave the ball away, and the midfield was pressing. You gave the ball away. We broke. We scored. You got the ball back.
Okay.
We broke.
Yeah, I think you made your point.
Yeah. So go on, Fyfie. What's your Leicester notes?
So if you'll indulge me just for a few minutes, because I have a lot to say on this. I've broken it down into 5 main points. If you want to expand on any of them, please do. Let's not forget, because we briefly discussed this yesterday as well. Let's not forget this was a match against 2 teams who, well, one was winning the Premier League, the other was in non-league. Let's not forget this. Okay.
Yeah.
The first opportunity that Notts County got, or at least the first opportunity that was shown in the highlights, was because they back passed to McCarthy, who the Notts attacker ran in, challenged him, and he kicked it against him. It came off the bar. Okay. McCarthy's a terrible signing generally, but that's not a great way to make your competitive debut. A lot of Leicester fans I know have been praising the performance of Sammy Braybrook. fair enough, he had a half-decent game by the rest of his team standards. Sammy Braybrook is a player who has never been considered good enough for Leicester City until they've been relegated to League One. He's had 3, if not 4 loans in League Two, and even Mickey Mouse teams like Swindon Town turned down the opportunity to have him in the past. So if you're relying on Sammy Braybrook to lead your promotion charge, you're not going anywhere. I want to comment on the goals. First goal, Leicester goal, very nice goal, well-worked ball, played out, nice strike, well done. Notts County's goal is defending that Swindon were doing last year, and I lost my head at it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this goal, Notts County have kind of waltzed through the defence. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's come off the post. All the Leicester defenders just stood there asking for offside, and the Notts County players like, no, that's not how it works in League One. Bang, we're going to score because you're stood still. Behave yourselves. You are professional defenders. Again, they got rid of Tom Wilson-Brown for nonsense like that. Rubbish. And then my final point, and this is the underwhelming point that will probably come up every single week that Leicester City are not top of League One. Russell Martin is a fraud. And that's all I have to say on that.
Well, is that right? So I want to indulge on a point you've just made there. You said about, well, no, the first one, when you said about Leicester, when Leicester won the Premier League, Notts County were non-league.
Non-league. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, it is. So Notts County are currently level on points with Leicester. Okay. Currently sitting above Leicester in the EFL table are Bromley. Stockport County and Wrexham, who were also non-league when Leicester won the Premier League. That is some fall from grace, massively.
They're up for sale as well, aren't they?
He wants 200 million for a League One football club.
I mean, he doesn't, does he? He wants 200 million for a
Premier
club
champions.
As it was, however many
10 years ago. Yeah, see, he wants 10 years ago. I wonder, and Fyfie, you can ask some Leicester fans this.
I can do it right now if you like.
I would like to ask Leicester fans, given that where they were, obviously they were the top end of the Championship and then they got into the Premier League and then obviously they ended up winning the Premier League. If they had known that 10 years later they would be sat in League One drawing to Notts County on the opening game of the season and in the position that they are currently in, both on and off the field, would they have?
Oh, I can already answer this.
Yes.
So two of my mates. So I'm actually in a WhatsApp chat with them now. Talk about something else. But two of them, we've had.
And
this
he
conversation.
said men can't multitask. Look at this: podcasting, WhatsApping.
We've had this conversation in person, and one of them he went very. What's his name from the In-Betweeners? Sorry, I don't watch it. Is it Jay? He's like, we've completed football. We've won the Premier League. We've won. So although he's annoyed that they're in League One now, he's like, we've won. Like, I've seen my team win the Premier League. Yeah. I've seen us win the cup. I've seen. We've had Champions League nights. Like, I've never seen Swindon in the Championship. Never mind the Champions League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So yes, they're annoyed, but a lot of them, like even the ones at work that I speak to, they were annoyed about getting relegated. But this year they're like, do you know what? If things go to plan, it'll be just nice to see us win games again, and it'll be nice to kind of. They're fully expecting, even with everything that's gone on, and even with the club up for sale, almost all Leicester fans are expecting HMS Pistol League again.
Yeah, but they should be.
But you could argue this Luton fans and Plymouth fans
and Huddersfield fans and Chef Wednesday fans.
And look how that has ended.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't ended, it's continuing, isn't it? But, Birmingham are the only one. And even when Birmingham had a really slow start that season that they came down, because they'd had, like Leicester, a massive kind of divestment of players. And you've got to learn to play with that new squad. It takes time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just an interesting question. Right. Oxford United 2, Milton Keynes Dons 2.
I have no notes. It just sounded really boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
My only note was the comment that I made on our show yesterday when you said that was the full-time score. And I say literally a game that no fucker outside of those two teams cares about.
Yeah, late. It was another late equaliser. Meh.
Yeah. Luton 4, Reading 3.
Oh my
Many
God.
notes.
Like, Reading are the sensible pick, I think, for promotion. Like, all things. But poor Jack Marriott to score a hat trick, to be 3-1 up and lose 4-3.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a sickener.
Absolutely gutted. I mean, Luton did kind of hit form towards the end of last season, and we're a very, very different team.
I refuse to discuss Luton's form at the end of last season.
Neither Hannah refuses as well because
yeah. we might have actually won at Wembley.
No, we would have beaten.
Naki Wells, they're just good and solid, and to be able to recover from that deficit, I mean, all credit to them. But
just on the previous thing, I see Mike's made a very good likewise comment on the Leicester one about Swindon's position, which I understand. I was just too young to get it. On the Reading game, I've wrote Jack Marriott scored a hat trick in the first half, which is incredible in itself. Sky identified his second goal, which is one where he picked up the ball pretty much on the halfway line, ran on his own and scored from outside the area as one of their top 5 goals of the weekend. But I want to comment on his first goal. What a lad this boy is. And that's me saying that about a Reading player, because I was talking about earlier in the Leicester one about the Notts one where it came off the crossbar where the keepers kicked it against the player. A very poor back pass, and Marriott has gone steaming in, got the ball, and completely wiped out the goalkeeper. The keeper went 6 foot in the air and landed heavy on the floor because he's like, I am getting there first. And it's a great goal. But as Hannah was saying, fair play to Luton. They were 3-1 down in that game and have come back to win. The winning goal, though, and sums up the game perfectly. The winning goal, I'm going to get it slightly wrong. I think the ball came across, the guys hit it, it's ended up hitting the bar. The next guys then tried to volley it. He's completely spooned it out to the other side of the penalty area where the goal scorers eventually tapped it in. But honestly, you could put comedy music to it.
yeah.
I just want to respond to Mike and say, I get where he's coming from, but if you'd asked me 3 years ago when we were in League Two and we were stagnating and we were just not moving anywhere, I would swap, because our time in the Premier League is what led us to League Two. It was the mismanagement off the field and we went down and down and down. I would have swapped those 2 years in the Premier League for not going through what we've been, but not just not being in League Two, just the way that it happened. 2 administrations within 20 minutes of going out of business. That was horrific. But obviously now you look at it and you're like, what a journey, really. I want to make a point. Not 1-0 draw in League One yesterday.
Told you, EFL's exciting.
It's absolutely exciting.
We'll get to League Two.
Or no one's worked out how to defend yet because it's the first game of the season.
Well, there's only one 0-0 draw in League Two, Hannah, and we'll come to that one very soon. But before we come to League Two, Hannah, talk to us about your. Did you go to Plymouth yesterday?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
From going to every home and away game when I've been in the country for the last, 3 or 4 seasons, I didn't go because little Charlotte went to stay with a friend's granddad on some island in Turkey. She came back. It turned out they had a private chef and a housekeeper, and the house is across 5 floors and slept 20 people. So she's had a lovely. So I went to pick her up from the airport. So I did not go to Plymouth. Also, last time I went to Plymouth, we lost 4-2, and it was a really, really, really miserable drive home.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of played into it as well.
Drive home,
that. Yeah. It was not what I was expecting at all. I very much expected, though it was a game of 2 halves, like genuinely. So the stats at half time were obnoxious in terms of possession, just generally everything was in favour of County. You look at it second half, and it all flips completely. And Plymouth kind of obviously worked us out at half time, but by then they were 2-0 down.
Yeah.
And I think they just couldn't do enough, essentially. McNulty ball is lovely to watch. It's like that first half. We've found our first touch. We are much more so. The difference between the Donny game and this week was that they've kind of found that finishing and that clinical precision that was lacking. And it was really nice to see. Ryan Glover scored, Woods scored, Jack Diamond scored. 100 appearances for Jack Diamond. Can't quite work out.
Stockport?
Yeah, 100 appearances.
That can't be right.
Yeah.
Someone's been fudging some figures.
I
there,
am right.
Someone's fudging figures there.
Yeah.
Someone's just making figures up now.
No, I'm not. So he scored. He's definitely a confidence player. Although saying that, it will almost it was pretty much, it was deflection / own goal, if we're being honest. Their goal, Amici, was just a really nice blasted goal in. So you're gonna be like, I didn't know you were yawning then. I thought you were just
sorry.
Say you actually decided that I was in fact right, and Jack.
You are right. You are right. He has played 100 times for you. I don't know how he's managed to do that. That is
no
insane.
So a good doesn't mean anything. It's the first game of the season. HMS Pistol League is still very much tethered to the marina. Will not be setting sail anytime soon, but it's a nice confidence gaining start before we get battered by Everton's babies on Tuesday night in the Virtue Trophy.
Yeah. Oh God, that's this week, isn't it, as well?
Yeah,
right.
There's some Northern Round fixtures on Tuesday. My only note from Start Report, other than I want to talk about Wilson Brown again, was that I thought your third goal was a very nice goal.
Yes, it was. It was lovely. And the nice thing, so Ryan Glover came from Barnet in the summer. No one that I've spoken to, the club, other clubs he's been to, scouts, has got a single bad thing to say about him. And that's quite unusual. There's normally notes like, oh, he's great at this, but this needs work. And not with him at all. He is he's persistent. The only thing that I would say about him, and we definitely saw less of it yesterday, is he has a tendency, or had a tendency previously, to go down, appeal. They do that whole appealing to the referee, and you're like, just get on with it. That's the only thing I would say about him. But he honestly didn't do that at all yesterday. So maybe someone's had a word. But I think they're a really nice group of lads, and that the kind of, so there's, when you change managers, and a manager that has achieved so much, it's very hard to be negative about them, I think. But the change that people are seeing at the training ground, there's it's described as a lightness in terms of the kind of the atmosphere and the culture. And when he talks about his coaching ethos, he's very kind of person-centered. It's not just about the football. He's up on his feet the whole game. We've not had a manager that's done that for a long time. So it's I think it's a change for good. Charlie was very old school. The funny thing is that, I said before that Sheffield Wednesday is supposedly giving Peterson 6 games. Guess who they play in their 7th game?
You're getting the new manager bounce.
So but if all things are said to be true, then that new manager would be David Challoner.
which that was kind of what I was alluding to with Louis Barry earlier as to why he might have gone there.
Yeah. And Onyango, did you see Onyango went off injured for Sheffield Wednesday?
No. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right. Bradford, Peterborough. Okay. I'm going to talk Peterborough first and foremost. So sorry, just to answer Jay's question. Yes, Jay, Hannah is Stockport County fan with a Bradford City notebook.
And a Swindon shirt.
And a Swindon Town shirt.
Yeah. Signed by Jake Taylor.
Still features in our new credits.
So do I. I'm in it 3 times, Fyfie. I'm in it 3 times.
Are you?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
That sounds like a mistake. Maybe go back and check your editing.
I'm in the one with me and you.
Yeah, that's the only one I can remember.
There's the one of us all.
You is the chicken?
No. There's one of us all from the live night.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you would have been in that. Yeah, of course.
But there's another one from that night, and I'm in the background.
Okay.
So accidental. Really,
I'm in 2 on purpose and 1.
There's only 1 that you're purposefully in.
2?
No, because that's just a crowd shot. That's not because you're in it. That's just you happen to be there.
Fyfie, I'm bank slap centre. That was the focal point.
Is mine the one at Walsall? I've not seen this season. Yeah.
So, right. Well, Peterborough, Bradford. I'm gonna start with talking about Peterborough, and it's something that I said to Fyfie yesterday.
Check my notes.
If Peterborough stay up this season, if Peterborough stay up this season, we are winning the league. Okay, and what I mean by that is if Peterborough actually have enough to stay up this season, we were just that good. Does that make sense? We are that good. We made them look like a team that were surefire to finish rock bottom. They were poor across the pitch. We out-battled them in every single position. Anthony Sarcevic has now dropped. Obviously, captain Anthony Sarcevic has now dropped from an attacking role more into a central midfield role. And he spoke about it after the game yesterday and said he's actually really enjoying having that kind of responsibility. He won everything in the middle. And we were already all over them and dominating. And then we turned to the bench. And you bring Nick Powell off the bench. Okay? No, Hannah, you laugh, right? So I'm going to just read you what our substitution is.
Honestly, he's the most beautiful player for, a game or 2 a season. The equivalent, the cumulative equivalent of a game or 2 a season.
So we bring... So these are the substitutions that we brought off the bench. Okay, Bobby Poynton. This is
why is he not starting?
Because we've got that much depth.
Oh,
so we brought Bobby Poynton off the bench. We brought Phillips off the bench. Adam Phillips, who we signed from Barnsley in the summer, who Barnsley have said for the last 3 years has been their player of the season, who looked superb. We brought Nick Powell off the bench. And then we brought Henry Cartwright off the bench at the very, very end. But for me, we just look solid across the field. We look solid.
Game.
No. But we've been like that. The back end of last season, all through last season, we looked solid, but we look better than we did at the back end of last season. We look like the little things, like I said, about us not having an out-and-out 9, not having an out-and-out goal scorer up top. Bobby Poynton, I believe him and Sarcevic were our 2 top scorers last season. Like that. And we had Paul Mullin playing for us. We had, Stephen Humphries playing for us. We had Will Swan, who started the season really well and then tailed off. But we look like we've kind of fixed those problems and we've gone to kind of correct them. Just on what Jay said, you must be a big Jamie Lawrence fan. I love Jamie Lawrence. Now, on Peterborough's only chance to score, Hannah, and as this was happening during the game, I was trying to describe it to Fyfie, and then I ended up recording it. Now I'm going to play the recording, Hannah. Bear in mind, this is at full speed how this goes. This is Peterborough's only real opportunity to score. Mind the video because I was kind of talking to Fyfie on stream and going like this, recording the screen at the same time. Here we go.
Fyfie, I've got.
So it was slow motion played across, and the ball went across the goal because it shouldn't have gone there. Like that was not where a player should be playing the ball when he gets into that position. He's played it behind the line. It's then come off the Peterborough player, hit the goalkeeper's foot, and he hasn't like stuck his foot out to do it. It's just bounced off his foot and just slowly rose up and tapped the crossbar and come back out. And that was all they offered. They offered nothing. So the only way that they could get through our defence was to do things incorrectly, so incorrectly that we couldn't predict them. So for me, Peterborough, I'm going to say it here, Peterborough, by far, worst team to come to Valley Parade this season.
Where's Lisby gone? He's gone somewhere in League One.
Don't know.
I like every season, Peterborough have a player or two who are brilliant, and then they go because that's what they do, right? They get players in, and then they sell them on at a profit.
He's in Championship. He's at Millwall.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So yeah. So aside from all that stuff, we looked very, very confident on the ball. We passed the ball really, really well. We're pressing constantly. We're creating opportunities that we created last season. Balls into the box. We look now that we've got forwards that can score goals, including Nick Powell, who I do believe will score 15 goals for this season. If he stays fit, we will pro-rata that. In term time, we'll pro-rata it based on a goals per game. If you don't play for the rest of the season now, Hannah, we're pro-rata-ing it. He's got 46. But we'll, yeah. So for me,
I have two additional notes you haven't touched on yet.
Go on. What's your additional notes?
My additional notes is the first goal you scored, which I believe was Gillespie, because you actually missed it live because something was happening in our game and you swapped the games over, went back to see that you'd scored.
Yeah.
Very good header. Nothing wrong with the header. I do have many questions about the goalkeeper.
Not just the goalkeeper, the whole defence.
I have many questions.
Horrific defending. Alex Bass has kind of come out of his goal and gone to get it, but kind of half.
He rose like a salmon and then collapsed like a fridge.
Yeah, he's
a bass, not a salmon.
He's gone for it. He's come out and he's gone to go for it and he's flapped, but he's kind of not flapped where the ball was going and maybe flapped kind of in front of him. So the ball's just gone like it's like. Do you know what it's like? It's like when you run for a bus, right? And he's got to the bus stop and he's stuck his arm out and the bus has just drove past him anyway. That's what happened with the football. And the defence were nowhere near. Gillespie just literally had the easiest of free headers at the back post to just knock it in. Yeah, horrific defending and goalkeeping.
My other note, and you are much better positioned to comment on this because I missed the first one and I've only seen the second one. The Peterborough player who did get a red card, Liam was going apoplectic on our stream because he should have been sent off maybe 10 minutes earlier. I didn't see what that was, and ITV didn't show it. But all I know at this point is he went apoplectic on our stream, and ITV showed that the guy got a second yellow and got sent off.
Yeah.
So Luke Williams said afterwards that there was, where is it? No malice, and it wasn't a discipline thing. And I'm paraphrasing now. So basically, he's a big bloke, and so it looked higher than it was because he's big.
Oh, Hannah, the red card was a red card all day long. It was a high foot.
Was it a straight red?
No, second yellow.
Yellow.
Second yellow.
What happened with the first incident?
So, Peterborough had a corner, and I was a bit confused as to what happened here because I'm not 100% sure what it was given for. But now I believe, from what I could see on it, the player has tried to play a short corner. He's passed it straight in, and the lad who's
Williams.
Well, no, but they played the short. Yeah, exactly. They played the short corner. He's passed the ball in. The lad who's received the ball has immediately passed it straight back to the lad who's taken the corner to whip it in. But the lad who's just taken the corner still stood on the fucking byline. So obviously in an offside position. The referee's blown at that point. Then when they showed the replay, they obviously showed that part, but then they also showed that in the box, Sarcevic and the lad that got sent off, which is a Kagbu. They're kind of, I think it's him, by the way, and I think they're tangling in the middle. I'm pretty confident it was the same play. They're tangling in the middle. And what's happened is he is a big lad and he's kind of nudged Sarcevic, and by nudging Sarcevic, it's made our keeper drop to the floor. Okay? Kagbu's then stepped over our keeper and just fucking booted him. and like I saw it and I was like, that's a red card. And if he doesn't get booked, retrospectively, when they look back at it, he will be given a red card. Now I don't know what the rule is because he actually got a red card in the end. But
if he's got a red card, you can't.
But not for the same incident. They can still. Pretty sure they can still retroactively give a ban for an incident if the referee didn't see it.
Did you know? Just as a complete aside, and you two will probably go, yeah. So Josh Jacobs-Cogley got a 4-game ban after the playoff final because it was his second red of the season.
After the playoff final?
Mm-hmm.
But they reset after the semi-finals.
So he got sent off in the playoff final for hair pulling, which, you know.
They've just increased the ban for that as well.
If you wave your hair in someone's face and they whack it out the way, fine. No issue with ponytail pulling at all.
I don't think guys should have ponytails, just saying.
Well, either way, yeah, 4-game ban because he'd already had a red that season.
But I was under the impression that the card counter completely reset after for the playoffs anyway.
Well, worst case, it resets in the new season. Oh no, actually,
no, it doesn't. It carries over.
If you get banned, it carries over.
Yeah, that does carry
over. What's it called? Jatta for Notts County. He got sent off in the playoff final last year, didn't he?
Yeah, but he won't have to worry about that because he's gone abroad.
He's I
think it's
dirty player.
I don't think it does abroad.
No,
because he's switching between FAs.
Competition specific, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I think we were superb, and I do think we've just got better than we were last season, and I think that the little issues that we have we've plugged. That's my view on it. Could be wrong, but I'm often wrong. Right, League Two.
What, for 5 minutes? I've got notes on League Two as well.
Right, well, I'm going to read the results. Okay, Fyfie, I'll leave Swindon until the end because
format.
I like this format.
Please do leave Swindon until last, yeah.
Fyfie, do you want me to leave Swindon until last because it was a 0-0 draw and it was fucking... Yeah, no, because we can actually...
No, we'll just leave it until last because our teams are last.
Yes, we'll
double spread.
Yeah, we will go on a rant about Swindon Town. Okay. So Accrington 2, Colchester 2.
I think that was quite... well, it was boring, but Colchester have got massive injury issues. The Cowleys are on a recruitment thing, and that's a statement on the 16th of August to say that you've got significant... That's a stop county statement.
Hannah, you ain't seen nothing yet when we're talking about an injury problem. Just wait till we get to this Swindon game. Right. Go on, Fyfie, what's your note?
My only note is, and I was going to ignore the fact that it was 2 former Swindon fullbacks that scored both goals for Colchester. If you haven't seen it, Rob Hunt's goal is one of the funniest things you will see this season because basically, I'm not sure if it was in like a dead ball situation or not. It wasn't very clear from the highlights, but he is like so far away from the goal. He's on the right-hand side and he's just launched a ball into the penalty area. The Colchester attacker has gone to head it, missed it completely. The goalkeeper's all confused and it's just bounced into the net. Like he has scored from easily 45 yards and like on the touchline.
I love that. I love it
if
when
you haven't seen it, honestly.
And just keeps going. I love it.
That's my only note.
Well, we're going to have notes on this next one. Barnet 3, Salford 1.
I have one note. Well, no, I have 2 notes, but one of them's not really a note.
Fyfie, be kind.
My first note is Pen Merchant scores non-pen.
Yeah.
Shamanga off the mark.
Yeah.
And my second note is...
I knew that would come in. That's better than what I thought he was going to say.
Fairness though, like not just me, a lot of our guys when we did our falls predictions and a lot of the other people who do League 2 coverage, it's not even a dark horse. Barnet are contenders this year.
Mm-hmm.
They were very good the end of last season.
Yeah, Barnet are a good side. Barnet have got good players, very good players.
Yes, they have.
Hannah, have you got any notes?
Schmanger, Charlie Latham. Didn't know Charlie Latham was there either.
That's passed you by.
Yeah, like a lot apparently. Yeah, I mean Salford are. They've got Will Norris from Wickham. They had Matty Young last season, who was on loan from Sunderland and was incredibly good. And I feel like that's the gap because obviously their recruitment, they've got Abraham Odo, they've got Molyneux, they've got Macaulay Langstaff, and that link up in pre-season has been working incredibly well for them.
Mm-hmm.
It just absolutely did not yesterday. It did not work. And yeah, that quote from Peter C. early doors about being devastated and gutted. He apologized to the traveling fans. He apologized to the fans watching at home. He, said that it wasn't with their ambitions.
He's got a lot to learn.
Like it was, for the first game of the season, I think he recognizes what the expectations are for that squad that they've built. And so to have a defeat like that is abjectly humiliating, albeit normal for the first game of the season, and doesn't really mean anything.
No. Yeah, like I say, it's an opening game. Right. Cheltenham 2, Rotherham 1.
I have just one note. My note here is people are sleeping on Cheltenham here. I said to you yesterday, I think that they've got a manager who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
They have a bit of money about them now, seemingly, because they are signing players, but not just signing players, signing decent players. They added Jake Evans, who scored on loan from Leicester. And
they've got Charlie McCann, haven't they? I've only just realised they've got Charlie McCann.
Yeah. They're going to be I'm not going to sit here and say they're promotion contenders, but they are going to cause teams problems this year, and I'm really not looking forward to playing them next Saturday.
I feel like Steve Cottrell as well has he was very kind of humble in talking about Rotherham. I'd forgotten. So Alex Bruce was a victim of the Carl Robinson exit.
Yeah.
Like Pete Wilde and Adam Temple, when the manager gets sacked, the assistant goes too. We had it at County with Dave Conlon, and Alex Bruce pops up as the manager at Rotherham. I'd forgotten that Rotherham had got relegated. So I was like, oh, it's an incredibly good move. I mean, it's an incredibly good move for him either way. But he's got Paul Mullen. They've got Jamie Jealous, apparently. I learned today.
Why didn't he tell us?
Maybe we're just not friends.
Because you guys have been in hibernation for 12 months.
No, well, that's true. Well, his was the last interview we did, and then it was a bit like mic drop. Like we can't
top it. We can't, but we're gonna.
It genuinely was.
I said to Fyfie yesterday, like the Harry McCurdy one was massive for lower league look, but the Jamie Jealous one was another level. Like for Harry McCurdy, the shock factor of it being Harry McCurdy after the season that he's had was always gonna ride a wave. But for the general football fan, and if you're not a Walsall fan, if you just like football, that interview is just it's everything. As our next one will be.
To your new YouTube channel?
No, the YouTube channel's still up. We just can't get on it.
We just can't get to it to add anything.
So only new stuff will be on the new one.
Only new. Well, I can download all the old stuff.
Of course. Anyway, so Alex Bruce will be interesting to watch at Rotherham, but Steve Cottrell, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Chesterfield 0, Fleetwood 1.
So this was a funny one in that they played in the Carabao Cup last week, exactly the same scoreline and exactly the same scorer. So it was just.
And it wasn't exactly the same goal.
And oh God, what's his name? Paul Cook said after it, already getting criticised, and has already gone in on the fans saying it's not justified. I think, I don't know what Chesterfield fans kind of expect.
I think last season was their chance.
Yeah.
So again, if you haven't seen this, and this really does lean in, I should say, to goalkeeping errors that I really have an issue with. Like, Howler's fine, but I went on a real rant. I did it when I was doing Lower League Look. I did it on Fools Rush In. I had a real rant last year that we went for about 6 weeks, if not 8-10 weeks, of somewhere in the pyramid. And then it got to the point where people who watched your show and people who watched our show were DMing me links, WhatsApping me links, finding any way to contact me to send me links of goalkeepers being lobbed from distance, right? Because I've got a real issue with goalkeepers thinking that they can stand on the edge of their area when they're not quick enough to get back. And so this went on, and there were some real infamous ones last season. Well, anyway, if you haven't seen this, is it Bonis that plays up front for Chesterfield? He missed 2 good chances within minutes of each other. And then it was almost like, it wasn't quite this, but it was almost like a goal kick was taken. I'm sure it was Ched Evans that scored. He's kind of run through where there's no defenders because they haven't got back yet, and just volleyed it, a volleyed lob. The goalkeeper stood fucking miles off his line, and he's been lobbed. And I'm like, lad, one, you're the only guy back. 2, you can see what he's going to do.
Yeah. Hannah, Hannah had a little reaction there. What was that?
Yeah, she was having an allergic reaction, or she was laughing at something.
Twin 1 appeared in the window, seemingly wearing a bra, and I don't even know what she was wearing. Like, I'm trying to find out whether what I saw was actually what I saw, but she was like an apparition. She just came there. So. Yeah.
I want to just quickly.
Football related.
Cheltenham Rotherham, Hannah, another player in the may have slipped your mind. Andres Weinman.
Andy Weinman signed for Cheltenham, yeah.
Hannah, as in ex-Aston Villa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unbelievable player. Has signed for Cheltenham this week. That's massive. Yes, that was just another one I wanted to touch on. It was mentioned in the chat there by Jay. Next up, we come to it. The 3 red cards between Crawley and Crew. Crew stealing it in the 93rd minute, 94th minute. I said it yesterday.
I've taken notes on all the red cards.
Well, I believe Crawley will go down this season.
I was genuinely a little bit surprised to find that they were still in League Two.
They were still in League Two, yeah. Yeah, that's how bad Barrow and Harrogate were.
You two have 1 year off, and you've lost all connection with what goes on in the mere. Yeah.
I miss it. Of the EFL. I miss it, me. I miss it.
So, if I may, Kellen Gordon got sent off first. Okay?
Yes.
Absolute stonewall red card. I hope they extend his ban because it was absolute petulance on his part what he did.
Yeah.
And pointless. There's absolutely no need for it.
Okay. Punching.
Yeah. The second one, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because I'll do a Ben and get it horribly wrong.
Ebiowe.
Thank you. I actually spelt it phonetically in case you made me do it.
In that Subway slogan.
I'm going to say this red card was harsh.
Hannah's not sure.
I'm going to say the red card was harsh. And the reason I'm saying the red card was harsh is, on the face of it, it's a legitimate decision, what he's done. However, in the action of what's happened in the game, He's got the ball, beaten his man, who has pulled him back, kicked him, and then thrown him to the floor. He's reacted. He's been sent off for throwing the ball at the guy that's done it to him. But the guy that's done it to him hasn't even received a card for the 3 fouls that he's done leading up to it.
Yeah.
It's very, very poor from the referee, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Louis Barry got sent off for the same last season, like just kind of throwing the ball out of as a reaction, and yeah.
Like, I get it. It doesn't paint a good image, but nor does pulling back someone and kicking him.
No.
But apparently you get away with that. Demetrius was just a second yellow. That is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then they, again, horrific goal, horrific defending, horrific goalkeeping. Kind of mirrors the Peterborough one with Bradford. Ball floated into the back post. Keepers kind of half come out for it, decided not to. Defenders just let him get the header and he's headed it in.
I can't. The thing that would worry me if I was a Crewe fan is that those sending offs were the 51st minute and the 65th minute. Their goal was 90 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it came from.
Feels like there was, 30 minutes, which is a decent amount of time to capitalise on that. I don't know when Dimitri was sent off.
About the 80
something?
Yeah.
So let's say worst case, you had 15 minutes.
85 minutes. They had 20 minutes.
Okay, so 20 minutes playing against 9 men. If you're not capitalising on that, then you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Because they had so much added time, Liam and I switched over after Bradford and Swindon had finished. We watched the last sort of 5 minutes. And they had... Crewe had an opportunity right like in the 10th minute of added time. They broke from a Crawley set piece.
Oh, infuriating.
And the guy bottled it. He was through on goal and he bottled it and started running to the corner.
Hannah, he was past the defender. The ball was played through to him. He was beyond the defender. He was running square onto goal. All he had to do was just run and tap it back. Do you know what? If you miss at that point, it's fine. It's the last kick of the game. And what he's done is he's kind of gone towards goal and then gone left, allowed the defender to catch up to him, and then slowly jogged it into the corner. It boils my piss, does that. Boils my piss. Right, next one. And I'm going to try a new feature.
Is it like our new feature?
No, I showed you it before. It's a new feature for anybody that's in chat. I don't know if it works yet, because it says it's in beta at the minute. But
beta?
Yes.
Is that like beta?
No, it's beta. Oh, Hannah. It's alpha beta.
Awesome beta.
I think I would go beta.
It is beta.
Beta.
It's beta.
Beta mode.
No,
beta mode. Anyway.
So, Walsall 3, Gillingham 0. And here is the poll. So, guys, 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. Let's see if it actually works. Will Walsall finally go up? 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for laugh out loud.
Can I make a comment, like an addendum? Maybe we wait and see. Because I think I think feedback could change based on context.
Well,
no, I just think
there is the other thing ready as well, isn't there? What if Walsall do go up, Liam? There's one celebrity to be very happy, isn't there?
Who?
Your whole thing that you were showing me beforehand.
What was I showing you beforehand?
Lizzo.
Oh, Fyfie. Yes. Lizzo, yeah. If they do go up, Hannah.
It's about damn time.
Well, that's not recent because she's been on the Ozempic, hasn't she?
It's about damn time.
That was perfectly timed.
Pete Wild.
All 3 Walsall goals were 81st minute, 89th minute, 95th minute. That smacks to me of Gillingham turning off, fitness, whatever. That's not Walsall being fucking brilliant.
I have to ask a question now, and I'm not asking it because I want it to happen, but it's a question that I think we have to ask. This season, is it the Gallinsons' last chance to get this right? because they came in, they did a lot of good that first season, and no one can doubt that they've turned around the club off the field and they made them a really, really good, like a good feeling around the place. But how long can they continue to not even be? At no point since they took over have they been a part of the conversation for promotion out of League Two.
No, that first season with turnaround
Was superb.
the season so they bought them just before the Christmas and they survived, and then the next season after they were in the conversation and then just dropped off completely. They were like playoffs or higher, and then just
they were never in the running. They never looked like they were cementing a place. They never looked like they were never chasing like at the very end.
Mansfield, the season that Mansfield ultimately went up, where they weren't winning, they were drawing consistently, which was enough to a certain degree. Like that can be a strategy, but at some point it's not enough and you need to start winning games. And it was that season that Mansfield were like unbeaten for like however many games, but they weren't winning, they were just not losing.
But that, so for me, Walsall that good, or was it just a typical Gillingham drop
I think
off?
Gillingham just turned off and Walsall took advantage of it.
Maybe so. Anyone got notes?
That was it. 81, 89, 95. That was my notes.
Fyfie?
I have one note, and it's not specifically on the game, and it's only relevant to anyone who watched the ITV4 Football League highlights show.
I was so happy that they were back last night.
The guy who did the commentary for this 90-second highlight package sounded like a throwback to Channel 4 racing in the 90s.
The Dalek.
Absolutely incredible commentary.
Yeah, I did. I saw the clip of it. Grimsby 1, Exeter 0.
No.
Comments.
Go on.
So Harvey Rogers scored off of Grimsby. David Artell was incredibly complimentary about him again. He was Grimsby's player of the season last season, but he was also the League Two. He was in the League Two team of the season.
Yeah.
I think having watched Artell and Grimsby in the playoff semi at Salford, they were kind of slow. I mean, they scraped into the playoffs, but they played like they deserved to be there. They had, for that one goal, they had 43 touches in Exeter's box. So if they can kind of convert more of those opportunities and be a little bit more clinical in their finishing, then I don't think they're an autos team, but I think they're a playoffs team again.
Fair enough. Skip that one. Tranmere 2, Shrewsbury 0. That's massive for Tranmere, by the way.
First home win in 6 months. 6 months.
Massive.
I was disappointed in Shrewsbury. I expected them to be better, but it is opening day. Fair play to Tranmere.
Yeah. And a clean sheet as well, which is important. They've got Darrell Clark in now. So there might be a little bit of the new manager bounce side. They're a nice club. I went at the end of last season, and that time they were on the brink of relegation. They're not going to change the world, but hopefully they
just need a nice, solid season, don't they? That's all they need to kind of get themselves back in. Right. What a game. York City 3, Bristol Rovers 2.
Notes.
Yes, I thought
you go first. I have some notes as well.
So I do have a question over the penalty award in this game as well. But my only real note is textbook Scott Lindsay.
It really
That's
is, isn't
all that
it?
needs to be said.
It is. Yeah. What? Yeah. Just on the game. So, obviously, Bristol Rovers went 1-0 up. Alex Newby then equalised. Then York went ahead. Then Tommy Lee scored from the penalty spot. And then 2 minutes later, York won the game. What a return that is for them back to the EFL.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because York lost to Crawley last weekend, and Stuart Maynard was getting the sacks in the morning.
No, it's not Stuart Maynard, it's Scott Lindsay.
Scott Lindsay was getting the sacks in the morning. You're getting sacks in the morning. Harry Boyes, I mean, like in the league paper, it said something like, "Oh, you know, we've found this untapped source of goals." It's the first game of the season. Just because he's scored 2 goals, it doesn't mean. So he scored 1 for Southend last season. He scored 2 in the first game. I think
you say that, Hannah, but look at Nick Powell.
Right? Yeah, and look at Nick Powell, Silver Fox. Anyway, I think Bristol had generally been tipped for their recruitment. So I had all these quotes. My favorite one, I don't think we've got to. No, we've not got to yet. But about Steve Evans. He hasn't scoured the lower leagues for untapped prospects. He hasn't hired an army of data analysts to find overlooked value. He's just signed winners. So they have signed Richie Smallwood, Ben Purrington, Kieran Kelly, Tom Jones, Jack Aitchison, all of whom have won promotion from League Two, all of whom have played in League One. Steve Evans has had 8 career promotions. This is a kind of statement of intent, and I think yesterday's result doesn't necessarily tell us the full story.
No, yeah, I do expect Bristol Rovers to get better and better as the season goes on. Next game, and this is for me a huge game. Newport
What's a compliment
3.
Hannah's had from James, by the way. He's not once said this about me.
I see. Oh, I'm not going to say what
James,
I was
you're a
going to
married
say.
man.
I'll tell you later what I was going to say.
He
You
hasn't
can
said fuck all
decide
about
whether
me.
to diffuse it on.
He hasn't said
on.
all about me. Newport 3, Rochdale 0. Now, again, but this is for Newport, who
Huge.
were probably many people's favourites to go down along with Crawley, because they've been there or thereabouts the last few years, kind of always just scrape by. I know Rochdale have just come up. However, teams coming up from the National League are no mugs. Teams coming up from the National Leagues are very, very good teams. Look at Rochdale and York last season. In any other season,
funny thing is,
both win the league.
Rochdale and York, neither of them now going into League Two have the same manager that brought them up.
Yeah, but for Newport, that's massive. That's a huge opening. I said it to Fyfie yesterday before when we first went live, because obviously it was an early kickoff. I said, people always say, the league isn't won and lost on opening day. It's opening day. Anything can happen. I think that will be the most important result of the season for Newport.
Hayden Mullen described it as a statement of intent.
Yeah.
It took them until after Christmas last season to get their first home win. So to start with that, I think makes a massive difference. Rochdale, new manager, they've lost players. So our new number 1 goalkeeper was their loanee goalkeeper last year, a lad called Ollie Watmer from City. He is very, very good. They've lost McNulty, obviously. He's been there for 10 years. They've lost Kieran Gordon's come to us as well. They've got Crawley next, which I feel like might be
This will be that's another big game. It's a big game because that will you will look at that if they go to Crawley or Crawley. I don't know if it's a home or away. I'm guessing it's away. But if they play Crawley and play them off the park, that sets them already aside from the relegation candidates. Yeah. And maybe they have turned a corner.
My favourite of all the quotes that I was going to share with you today was Ian goes from Asda to the EFL. So Ian Watson, bless him, worked in an Asda warehouse 20 years ago. And that's it. So he was working in an Asda warehouse when he was playing for Shildon, who were like, I don't know, whatever tier. And then obviously since then he's played all over and obviously came from South Shield. Yeah, he's gone from Asda to the EFL. Just like
we signed James Hansen from the Co-op. Yeah, well, we actually did. We signed James Hansen from Guiseley, and before he could come and sign for us full time, he had to work his notice at the Co-op.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's the real one.
Ben Hinchliffe, ladies and gentlemen,
truck driver, and then lastly, Oldham 2, Port Vale 0. Another massive result. Callum Kavanagh 2 goals.
Yeah.
What a guy. Mike Fondop. So if you get a red card in pre-season, I'm guessing it doesn't carry a ban or anything.
Apparently
like that.
Not.
No, because, Mike Fondop decides to just punch people in or just drop elbows into people in pre-season.
The aforementioned Ollie Watmouth.
Yeah. So, yeah, any notes on Oldham Port Vale?
I have one, and it's particularly poignant to what you've just said there. The note I made was about lower league legend Mike Fondop's contribution to the second goal. Now, Liam, I believe you said you haven't seen the highlights, particularly League Two. So what I would implore you, I mean, I know I've highlighted certain ones that you really should go and watch for comedy value. Because of your deep-rooted love for this man, you should go and watch the second goal, because I kid you not, he holds the ball up and uses the strength of the Incredible Hulk to hold off 2 men on the halfway line, spreads the ball out, shows the pace of Roadrunner to get into the penalty area, and attempts an acrobatic bicycle kick, which then sets up the goal scorer.
Mike Fondop is an anomaly. He is. So I always go back to when he was at Hartlepool and he played against us. So he came on the pitch. A ball was played down the right-hand side, a lofted ball for him to his head. Mike Fondop is 6'3", 6'4". He's not a small guy. Mike Fondop jumped and somehow got shorter. So he jumped for the header, got shorter. The ball went over his head. He played no part in it. The Hartlepool player that had overlapped him ran on and got the ball, crossed it in, and Jan Songo scored an own goal. Mike Fondop, who played no part in that goal, ran to the corner flag and did the Ronaldo Sui celebration on his own. What a guy. What a fucking guy. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, Callum Kavanagh, I'm delighted for Cal Cav. Signed from us last season. A big part of our promotion team. Really nice guy. Probably could have cut it at League One had he been given the chance. But look, yeah, it's a good one. Is that Hannah? Have you got any notes on Oldham Port Vale?
No. Apart from Robbie Williams.
Yes, then.
Well, no.
Yes.
Yes. It's just an interesting aside, pop culture reference. Robbie Williams is now their shirt sponsor.
No, that's not what I was going to say. Hannah, did you not see the Robbie Williams video?
I saw it, but I've not listened to it.
So he along with his band are singing, like actually singing a Port Vale chant. And essentially, do you remember a few years ago when Crawley, when Wagner first took over, they did that that devil. And that devil said about Carlisle, it was like, who's the Cumbrians, and was just Hannah, it's up there. Essentially, they are singing, "Come on, Vale, these are shit." Now that is what they're singing. Those exact words. Port Vale have put it out on their official channel.
We do love the Port Vale admin.
We do love the Port Vale admin, right? But yeah, come on Vale, or so, it's something like come on Vale, but it is literally these are shite or these are shit. And it's like just talk about the shirt thing, Hannah, because I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up and share it so you can see it.
That's like I think Ed Sheeran sponsored Norwich before.
Ipswich. Yeah, Ed Sheeran. By the way, Ipswich have a retired number.
Yeah, no.
For Ed Sheeran.
Really?
He has a squad number at Ipswich Town. Does Ed Sheeran? You can buy a shirt on the website, and then if you buy that number, you get Sheeran on the back of the shirt.
Yeah, so they've just got Robbie Williams on there as their shirt sponsor. But I did see something that said, I'm sure that they'll live to regret this, which must have been referencing that video. Yeah. And yeah, one game in, clearly the
admin actually said at the time, this is going to come back to bite me. He knew, but the fact that that's gone out on an official account, like that's a strange one for me. Right, I've got the video. I'm just going to pull it into StreamYard now, and I'm going to play it in its entirety for you, Hannah, because this is it's. I've
already got secondhand embarrassment.
Oh, you should have secondhand embarrassment, Hannah. It's horrific. I don't know what that was, Hannah.
There's a weird. I don't know what's going on outside.
Right, Hannah.
Ready?
Buckle in. Oh, wait, can I do this in a way so we can see it? No, I can't. Right. Wait, no, I think I can. I think I actually can. Right, hang on. It might take you off the screen, Fyfie, for a second. I'm going to just see how it works. Oh, no, it hasn't. Let's check. Hang on. Oh, that hasn't worked. Right. Do you know what? It's fine. I can play the video. Wait, how do I go back to where we were? Is that where we were? That's where we were.
God, we're so professional.
Yeah, I know, but this needs to be done in the way that we're doing it. I can play the video.
Share your window.
No.
Come on, Vale. Come on, Vale. These are shit, Vale. These are shits. Come on, Vale. These are shit, Vale. Come on, Vale. These are shit.
I can't work out whether that is a piece of like very intelligent satire. Like, because they can't be singing that seriously. Like, our fan base is up in arms because did you see our third kit release video with Clint Boone from the Inspiral Carpets? No. And so there's a TikToker influencer called Matty Good Vibes.
Right.
He does content around Stockport and has been doing some Stockport County content. And they did a video with Clint Boone and Matty Good Vibes, and
he sounds fun.
But the thing with this Vale thing is, regardless of if it was tongue in cheek, regardless of if it was not done seriously or not, it was never going to end well. Never ever going to end well, and that's going to haunt them for the fucking rest of their lives. Right, let's get on to the thriller. Northampton
only
0
in the bottom two divisions.
Northampton 0, Swindon Town 0. And while you start, I'm going to be back in a second.
Has anyone seen the Wrexham Cardiff score?
That's Monday, isn't it?
I thought it was tonight.
I thought it was tomorrow night.
Oh, it might be.
I'm sure it's on telly tomorrow night.
It said it in the paper. It said today. That was why I.
But there was Watford 2, Southampton 1, and Burnley 2, West Ham 2. Cardiff Wrexham tomorrow, 8 p.m.
I'll be missing out on joy like that when I start my netball. Right. Cobblers failed to forge a way beyond Ian's Robins. Hit me.
Well, one, I would never hit a woman. Two, yes,
Thanks.
James was at the game, but I'm going to take the opportunity because tomorrow I'm going to be asking all the questions and everyone else will be having their say. So this is my turn. On the face of it, if you go purely on stats, we weren't very good.
No, you were not.
We had, I think, 2 shots all game, 0 shots on target.
4.
Rubbish.
4. So 0 shots on target, 4 off target.
Okay.
1 corner.
Yeah. And then if you look at it, it'll say that Northampton had, I think they had like 13 corners. It was something outrageous in the first half. But ultimately, it was 2 poor sides playing poorly, is the reflection. James mentioned earlier, admittedly, I haven't been to any of the pre-season games. What Swindon did yesterday was not what they had been displaying ahead of the season and was not what we got against Cardiff. We look toothless up top. Now, there was an injury ahead of kickoff. Paul Glatzel, with the rumour is it's a precautionary one. It doesn't sound as bad as maybe it was before the game. But apparently, Swindon have become so much of a one-man team that him getting injured, considering he didn't play for pretty much an entire season, him getting injured completely derailed our entire plan because there's no plan B and there's nobody that could possibly do what he does. We for about 60 minutes, we defended very well. Northampton created almost nothing. Ask me on tomorrow's show, please. James, you've been texting me about tomorrow's show as well. Once I know how many fools are available, then we'll see if you can come on. For about 60 minutes, we defended very well. Me and Liam have both been talking about Stefan Negru through the game. He had one momentary lapse, and from that moment on, Swindon completely forgot how to defend. He decided he was just going to stand there and watch as an attacker ran past him.
Hannah, just
and once they stand there and watch, Liam went back and watched it, just went, fuck me, that's shit.
Hannah, he was the attacker got the ball in front of him. He was ahead of him. So Negro was between the attacker and the goal. And he just
rolled out the red carpet for him.
He steps to his left. Do you know when they always say, like, oh, show him out wide, like force him out wide? That's fine when you're running alongside someone. Guide them out wide. When you're in front of them, don't just fucking step out of the way and let them go. Because he stepped to the side and the lad ran past him and then he chased him. And it was bad. And I like Stefan Negru. And I was going to
say,
I like Stefan Negru. It was weird. He's a phenomenal player. He is a superb player. But yeah, carry on, Fyfie.
Tafazoli came on. And that really didn't help matters. We just became worse at defending when he came on. A few of us put ratings into our Fools chat. I thought I was quite generous overall. There was only 1 4. Everyone else got a 5 or a 6, with the exception of our young youth player Millard, who I gave a 7 to. Because in the first half, he was the only one that showed endeavour, work rate, all the things that Holloway says he wants. Millard was the only one that was really doing that.
So he took him off.
Yeah.
Now he'll say that it's because he's a young player.
Just after half time as well. He didn't even.
He came out for the second half. He misplaced 1 pass, and Holloway went, "That's enough. Off you come." We have some players who have the potential to do stuff. The problem we have is, as I sort of tongue-in-cheek said, apparently our entire game plan rests on Glatzel, who was then not available. He was injured. The top goal scorer in the league decided not to shoot all game. Now, those that love him with unconditional passion will say nobody created anything for him. He did set up Humbo, who came on as a sub, and missed our only half-decent chance. But I didn't really notice, but he went very, very quiet in the second half, Drinan. And then you'll see all the posts afterwards that evidently he's basically thrown a strop and down tools, essentially.
I love it when that happens.
And this is the first game of the season. We've got a very exciting young talent in midfield called Middlemass. he showed flashes, but because of the injury to Glatzel and Holloway having absolutely no idea what to do, he was basically playing in 3 different positions throughout the game, which hindered him being able to perform at his best. You can flash up all James' comments because basically what you'll learn is James is basically a clone of Ben, but with hair and slimmer. So me and James will clash over a lot of stuff because we have different. Someone running around doesn't mean, or someone moving around. Messi moves around. He doesn't work hard. That's.
But Messi's good enough to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's the difference. So our midfield was significantly lacking. Nichols then went off towards the end of the game. Now, rumours were Nichols wasn't even supposed to be part of the squad. He should have been bombed out to non-league at some point.
I disagree on that.
He's still there. A lot of people criticised the performance. I felt he, as much as anyone, he put in a shift. Ollie Clark missed our only other real opportunity. He blazed it over from yards. I still don't know how he managed to kick it that far over the bar. Ollie Clark was the only player I gave a 4 to. I thought he is, but maybe I'm biased because I'm just not an Ollie Clark fan. He's a very poor captain and a very average footballer.
So he was scored at 7 for like league paper. The only ones with 8 were Ripley and Matty Virtue. Everyone else was a 6, pretty much. Negru was 7, Kirkman 7.
Kirkman 7 surprises me a little bit.
Nichols 6. Millard 6.
Northampton had the best chances and should have won it at the very end. The lad got played through on the right. And, well, I'm led to believe, I thought at the time when we were watching it, he dragged his shot wide, but James has passionately come to his favourite player's defence today and told me that he has been shown a replay where he got a toe to it. So maybe Negru did help deflect the shot wide. But Northampton weren't great themselves. I was very disappointed in them, but from what I've been led to believe, their work in pre-season is to become defensively more sound. And so that game was always going to end 0-0 because we had nothing in attack and they were only focusing on defending. I would be more annoyed if I was a Northampton fan because that's their first game of the new season. They've had a poor season the year before and they're at home against a team that clearly wasn't going to score and they haven't won it. But Swindon fans have got a frustration that Northampton were there to be taken and we didn't do it. We have, admittedly, and I won't let this be an excuse because I am a big advocate for football is a squad game. And this is the reason you have squads. We have an unreal amount of injuries right now. Every single player of any quality seems to be getting injured. And they're always the same injuries, it seems. But I can't accept it then when Holloway's coming out post-match and saying that he's having to manage minutes of players and it's going to take a few more weeks yet. No, that's what pre-season is for. You manage the minutes of pre-season so they're ready to go.
Fyfie, you're forgetting the Grant McCann approach.
No, forget
October. That's like pre-season.
The problem is we
October.
could be in the relegation zone in October because people will score if we give the chances we did yesterday, and we're not going to score if we create as little as we did yesterday. It's a real concern for me. I do worry about next week. I think Cheltenham could do us over. We sound like we're signing between 1 and 3 players this week. Apparently all midfielders. Apparently Holloway's new mentality. It used to be Stackham and Rackham. He used to play like a front 3/4 and then have 3 or 4 attackers on the bench. So you could just swap them all so they were fresh. His new approach is going to be play a 2-8-0 formation because all we're going to have is midfielders. Apparently that's all he wants to sign. I'm genuinely, people got a little bit more excited because despite defeat, there were real positives after playing Cardiff. I'm very concerned from what I saw yesterday because he definitely, I can't say that he doesn't have his first team in place, but half his first team is now injured. But my big concern is there's no plan B. If Drinan doesn't score, seemingly nobody scores, and Drinan didn't look like scoring yesterday. And our depth of squad, you want your squad in place. I know we don't live in an ideal world, but in theory, you should have your squad in place for the first game of the season. Ideally, the transfer window shuts then, in my opinion, but because it doesn't, you have your squad in place, and then that gives you the next couple of weeks just to tinker if you get a long-term injury or someone puts in a bid for one of your players. We're going to be going right up to deadline day, not knowing who our squad is, because he's going to want to keep going and keep going. Because A, we have so many injuries, and B, this squad just isn't good enough. What we've brought in, there's been some good additions. I like Negru, I like Hungbo, but what we've brought in is essentially just replacing what we've lost. We haven't improved anywhere, and in football as much as anywhere, if you stay the same, you're actually going backwards because other teams are going forwards. So, like, this is why I said Liam couldn't understand why I said I'm predicting 16th. We did the ultimate bottle job last year in not even making the playoffs, and we've got worse because we haven't got better.
I think so. One of the really interesting things when you look at Chris Hogg's post-match interview next to Ian Holloway's, they're both saying the same thing in terms of the positives are the same. And like,
Holloway went and applauded the fans for the first time ever. Actually walked over and applauded the fans.
But one of the things he did say was that Northampton didn't do what they expected them to do. So they played differently to how they did in pre-season.
They were shy.
They weren't expecting that. But that's quite normal. Like, pre-season is for trying shit out and working out what doesn't work as much as what does. He mentions the injuries. But as far as he's concerned, he's more than happy with the point, happy with the clean sheet.
But why? Why are either of them happy with the point? None of them should be happy with the point. Both teams were there to be taken. They should both be very annoyed with their teams.
I've got a rant, which I went on it yesterday at the end, and it's so. First of all, we'll go through Holloway's interview there. He made excuses for players not being fit. Ollie Palmer, for one. Ollie Palmer ain't injured. Ollie Palmer didn't miss pre-season because he was injured. Ollie Palmer...
Apparently he did get an injury in pre-season.
Well, he weren't at the fucking club to get it. Ollie Palmer missed pre-season because the club allowed him to go and do Wrexham stuff. They allowed him to go to the World Cup and do media stuff for Wrexham.
Like what? Like commentary, com stuff, or
just social media stuff. He was on.
So he's still got some sort of, what's the people that sometimes you get into talking in hospitality and stuff? What's that? Like an ambassador. He's still got some sort of ambassadorial role, I think.
Well, his clothing brand is Wrexham themed as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's been allowed to do that. He's missed pre-season because Swindon Town have allowed him to do that. That is him openly saying that is more important than Swindon Town. Fuck him off. Like, get him gone. And I said it at the end of yesterday. Harry McCurdy tweeted out yesterday, and it was a tongue-in-cheek dig of his ex-clubs, where he basically said, at least this season, I won't open the season with a 3-0 loss. And he tagged like Crawley and Swindon, and he was like, good luck to all my former... I'd say good luck to all my former clubs, but I really don't mean it. Harry McCurdy is not signed to a football club, but I can tell you now, Harry McCurdy, I don't think Harry McCurdy is the answer to Swindon's problems, but he's a better fucking option than Ollie Palmer, because Harry McCurdy will give you 110%. Go and get him, right? Harry McCurdy might not be good enough for where you need to be right now. Maybe he is. We don't know. We haven't seen it since he left Swindon. Harry knows that he hasn't done enough, and he was saying it in the replies. But Ollie Palmer is a fucking disgrace. And his whole thing about when Swindon fans said that he was overweight or he was out of shape, and he did the celebration after he scored, where you don't give a shit about that football club. And Ian Holloway making excuses for it, he should be fucking fuming. And then as Swindon fans, to see the comments and to see people saying things like, and Holloway saying, we should be happy with a draw, blah, blah, blah. Northampton were shocking. They were shocking last season, and they're shite this season. When he said that Northampton didn't do what they thought they were going to do, Northampton didn't do nothing. Northampton were absolutely horrific. If you were a Barnet, if you were a Rochdale that had just come up, if you were a Newport County, then I would say, fine, accept the draw. But you're Swindon Town. You shouldn't be in League Two. And if you are in League Two, you should be on the top of the pile in League Two. your fans should be fucking raging at the approach to it. They should be raging at the result. Yeah, it's opening game of the season. I get that. You can kind of give it a little bit of leeway on that. But his response to that whole thing of basically saying that it's all right and Ollie Palmer and all that shit, get him gone. If he's your top earner at that football club, which apparently he is, get him gone. Go and sign some non-league kid who is going to run through a fucking brick wall for you, i.e. Jake Tabor, who is going to run through a brick wall for you every single time he gets the opportunity and he might not be good enough for you at the level that you currently are.
Mate, we sent Mabete out on loan to Forest Green. He scored and got man of the match in his debut. But this was prior to us getting international clearance for our Australian defender. So we were, at one point, he was our only fit centre-back and we bombed him off to Robbie Savage.
And Ollie Palmer's in America doing stuff for his former club. And everyone's all right with that.
Well, yeah, but objectively, like thinking about it from a commercial business point of view,
no, we don't do that at Swindon.
Whatever Ollie Palmer is getting paid by Wrexham is supplementing his Swindon salary, which possibly means that he's willing to accept less from Swindon on the basis that he is allowed to continue with this commercial arrangement.
But the problem is Swindon are accepting less from him.
That's the thing. He isn't.
Right, okay.
He isn't performing for Swindon. He isn't turning up. He wasn't in pre-season, or he was, but not at the very beginning. He didn't come back for pre-season. He stayed out there for the World Cup watching. I don't understand how he's doing anything for Wrexham or anything in an ambassadorial role when he's watching the England games. I'm not quite sure how they correlate.
If you think about DAZN and how that operates in the US, you can see that he is a known kind of media entity that
it doesn't benefit Swindon in any way, shape,
no.
Which is why let him do it.
And his brand.
Let him do it. Ollie, if someone fucking clips this and sends it to you, absolutely superb. Ollie, retire. Just retire and go.
Right.
If that's what you want to do, retire and go. Don't take a space in a squad at a club that needs to be doing better. Don't take money from a club that needs to be doing better and needs to be spending its money better. Don't be taking a position in a starting lineup or on a bench from players like Jake Tabor who are desperate for an opportunity and might not be good enough. But you're not good enough now. That Ollie Palmer that they've got ain't good enough.
Fyfie, who is that brick house defender that you've got?
The Australian.
We haven't got one.
And on the other thing, just on what Fyfie did say about Tom Nichols, about bombing him off and getting him out to non-league. Tom Nichols is a very, very good player. You guys, for some reason, are playing him out wide. He is not an out wide player. Tom Nichols is an 8.
Again, on that, what I will say is, on that, he wasn't being played out wide. Him and Middlemass were alternating between them because neither of them should play there.
Yeah, exactly. But you play Tom Nichols for an extended period of time, play him a few games in that number 10 role, that number 8 role, give him that little bit of freedom, and you'll see the best of Tom Nichols. We've
seen the best of Tom Nichols. Unfortunately, we've seen the decline of Tom Nichols as well.
But you're seeing the decline of your entire club.
Yeah. Just to highlight,
I was thinking of Aidan Flint.
Yeah,
he hasn't played for us for years. Just to go back to
in my head, I was like, because the last Swindon game I saw in person was Swindon against Walsall, and he was playing for Walsall. Like that's, yeah.
Just to go back to James's comment, I think 6 back, where he says Fyfie's right, but we have inherited too many OAPs from last season. We haven't inherited too many OAPs from last season. We have made the conscious decision to keep them. Let me just rattle through a couple of these for you. We've discussed Palmer already. Harry Smith. Okay, injured all season, new contract. Injured again in pre-season, not due back until September, October. Okay, Tafazorli, injured every other week. Everyone started saying he was some sort of superhero because there was a point at the end of last season, and I'll get the details wrong, and this will mean James can pull me up for it, but there was a point just towards the very end of last season, he picked up another injury, okay? And he went on his own social media and said, it's not as bad as they're saying. I will play through this for the team. didn't then feature for the next couple of weeks because he wasn't allowed to. He came back for the last game of the season where he wasn't good enough because he wasn't fit enough. Ollie Clark, who I've got a real dislike to.
Jason's broke his elbow, which is
he
absolutely fine as a footballer. That's absolutely fine as a footballer because you can't use your elbow.
No, but he wasn't.
Unless you might fund up.
He said he would play through it for the team and then disappeared until he then took the injection for the last game of the season. Ollie Clark was unavailable as our captain for half of the season through either suspension or injury. Get the fuck out of my club. I want him nowhere near this club. But we've inherited these OAPs. No, we've made the conscious decision to keep these fuckers.
Okay.
And do you know what else? I don't know this for a fact, but I'm going to assume Ollie Clark, Harry Smith, Tafazorli, Ollie Palmer are your top 4 earners at that club. And they're going to manage half a season between them.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. I think it's like, and again, come back to it. A few years ago, you had your protests. Ian Holloway came in. You kind of turned it around that season. You went on that run. You went on that very good run as a club, and it probably saved you from relegation. You had an identity that season. You kind of went into it. You knew what you were getting with Swindon. You knew they were going to be tough to break down. You don't have that no more. There's no identity. There's nothing about you that screams game plan. There's nothing about you that screams.
So James' latest comment, I explained this one to you yesterday, didn't I, Liam? So Tafazorli, who, by the way, he stopped doing his Instagram, sort of TikTok, I'm a fitness guy thing because of how injured he is, conveniently. He was all about rest and recovery because he couldn't rest or recover. But he got in his words, his first ever calf injury, so he swapped his boots.
Yeah,
the boots were the cause of that injury, not the fact that he's made of chocolate.
Yeah, but how many calf or leg injuries have you guys got at the minute? Because they're all pretty much the same, aren't they?
So most of our injuries are hamstring injuries. So we've taken ourselves off of our training pitch. We're going to train at the county ground now.
I do remember your training ground is haunted. Well, look, it
was pathetic.
It was.
Yeah.
You should be.
From what you're expecting from Swindon, it was pathetic. A lot of people are accepting it because of the injuries, because it was first game of the season, because Northampton are going to be a good side at this level. There are some, unfortunately, we're at the point now where there's a large percentage of the fan base who are going to be passive about it and accept it for those reasons. There was a question put in the Fulks chat earlier by one of the guys. It said, how long are we going to accept these managing minutes for? And within 30 seconds of that being put in the chat, me and Woody, just in capital letters, put 0. I'm not accepting when the competitive season started managing minutes as an excuse. You've had pre-season for that. You
can manage minutes over Christmas. When you get a fixture pile up, you can manage minutes. You do not manage minutes going into your first game. Yeah, it is excuses. And Ian Holloway, and I said it the day he came in. Ian Holloway is the problem. Ian Holloway is a problem for your football club. Ian Holloway will not get your football club to where it needs to be, in my opinion. But I also don't believe that your football club will get to where it needs to be until the fans get pissed off and start showing it again. When they were going down that route of the protests, when they were going down that route of and they were peaceful protests, so many people turned up. That wave should have been ridden.
But ultimately, it didn't really achieve anything. No.
Well, no, because Holloway, when Holloway put them on that little run, people went, oh, no, it's all better now, and stopped backing the cause. If they'd have carried on and said, yeah, in fact, Holloway might be doing it, but the people in charge of the club are still fucking rotten to the core, we're still protesting them, and the protests continued. You'd be in a better, I feel like you'd be in a better place now, and that needs to continue, and that needs to come back. And, and the thing is as well, Holloway took the piss out of you for protesting. Like, Holloway actually came out and took the piss out of the fans. And then when you played Bradford away and you lost, Holloway told fans not to come and watch them. He told fans to stay away from the game. He started with a fan after the game in the stand and then did his interview where he told them not to come to away games anymore. Like,
we're one of the best supported teams away from home, by the way, in the division.
Which is staggering considering the shit that you've been through, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel at the minute. Yeah, like Jay's just said there, he's a hothead. He's not a hothead. He's a prick. He isn't a
No,
hothead.
he absolutely means them, James. He absolutely means everything he says.
He means every. Of course, he means every single word. He means every single word. Does he think before he speaks? No, but he means it.
Yeah.
The thoughts come into his head. He means them and he says them. But he doesn't have a filter, and that's fine. But he means the words. He has such a disdain for your fans, and your entire club has such a disdain for your fan base. But they know all it takes is just a little bit of a decent run, and everyone kind of forgets about it. Bollocks! Get back behind the protests. Get back behind Clem out. Get back to give us our club back. Get back to that and stay with that message. Regardless of what happens, stay with that message until you get what you need to do, because you will keep doing this. Holloway will send you on a run.
Yesterday, there's so much nonsense going on at the minute.
Yeah, you will go on a run. Everyone will kind of go, "Yay, we're back," and then you'll go back to exactly where you are now. But every time you get back to where you are, you go one step further. And right now, you are at a point where I have seen you play horrifically. I have seen you have horrific seasons. I have never seen Swindon Town. I have never looked at Swindon. Well, no, I've never looked at Swindon Town. And like we've played you so many times, and I've always said I hate playing Swindon Town, because Swindon Town always look like they have what they can. They always look like they have what they need to turn us over. I am so confident right now we will destroy you with our second team, because you have no identity. And again, and I said it at the end of your show yesterday, Fyfie, it's only just over a year ago since that game where you guys beat us 5-4 in the last minute with the own goal. And we were both here at that point. You're down here now. We are light years ahead of you. And that's just over a year. The gap between us is, I'd say the gap between us right now is greater than it has been in the last 20 years. In terms of footballing ability, club structure. And we've always been kind of those two clubs that have been like League Two. We shouldn't be at League Two. We are too big for that level. And we've kind of always had that mentality. But we are, like, when you guys went up to League One, but with obviously under Richie Wellens, the gap between us wasn't as big as it is now. And it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's not necessarily getting bigger and bigger and bigger because we're getting better. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger because you guys are getting worse. And that's it. The thing is, I think we'll go up. I think if we go up, Clem will sell. You're not going to go up with what you've got in place.
Correct.
And
which is why I'm predicting 16th.
And if you do go up, someone coming in has got to take on a hell of a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And it's not a quick fix. Even if you went up, I don't think you've got the sustainability to stay up. So yeah, look, I could go on a rant for the next 5 hours about Swindon Town, but we have been
on nearly 3 hours now.
Yeah. So we will wrap.
Welcome to the first show back, guys.
But, to be fair, this was always going to be a long one. We spent the first hour before we spoke about football, really.
Yeah.
This was always going to be a long one. Next week we will get back to just coming in talking about. I like that format, by the way, of just going through the games and notes, and you jump in on notes for games, because it means that we don't have to talk about the shit. And we just Hannah's missed her netball game. What netball game you missed, Hannah?
She's making netball on Mondays.
Netball's on Mondays. Yeah, it has been a while. But it's not started yet. I was invited to play tomorrow night.
Wait for the netball league look.
Yeah, netball league look. But my nails are too long, and I've not played since I was 15. So I thought I'd better ease into it.
It's always best to just ease it in, Hannah. Good luck, Hannah. Guys, thank you very much. It's been good to be back.
It's been a laugh.
It has. There's nothing I like better than going to bed on a heart racing because Swindon have pissed me off. But guys, we'll see you.
Imagine being me.
Yeah, the new YouTube is up. I need to change it. I've applied for the live on it. It takes 24 hours, so just got to wait on that. We'll get it all set up. We'll try and get everything moved over. And we'll see you next week.
Thursday.
Thursday. We're actually going to do a live stream again Thursday because it is Sheffield Wednesday versus Bradford City.
Is it on Thursday?
Live on Sky.
Thursday, Hannah.
Thursday night.
It's because
God,
one of
so
us is
bad.
paying attention to the
Yeah.
schedule, isn't it?
So we'll be here for that. So
I'm
come on back.
like,
We'll do a watch along.
I just know that like on Tuesday, I'm getting my tea on Edgeley. That's like 7:00 kickoff. Tea on Edgeley. Take it into the ground. I'm so classy. You'll be able to see me on the cameras because we only open one stand for.
Which,
The
as you
Tea
should,
Cup
as you should
trophy.
in that competition.
Especially when it's the babies.
Yeah.
As in,
Yeah, the under 21s. Yeah, right, guys. We'll see you. We'll see you Thursday then. But if you don't tune in Thursday, which I hope you do, we'll see you next week. Goodbye. Are you ready for the new outro?
Come on, Vale. Come on, Vale. These are shit, Vale. These are shit. Come on, Vale. These are shit, Vale. Come on, Vale. These are shit.